It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing Wiley's Associate Head Club Softball Coach, Coach Kate Lambert. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk
Good.
about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching in college softball?
Um, so coaching in college softball was actually an accident. After I graduated in 2017, I actually went and got my master's degree in social work, and I was a social worker doing child abuse and trauma for, I guess, a couple years. And then my head coach, who I actually coached, like he coached me when I played, he gave me a phone call and said that he needed an assistant and asked me if I wanted to come and be his assistant. So I quit my job and moved 2 hours to go be his assistant. So I just kind of fell into it. And then as I've fallen into it and I've gone deeper and deeper and my resume is getting bigger and bigger, it's just something that I love to do. And it's definitely an honor to be a part of this game. And this is a different aspect and a different side of it, but it's just there's so much important aspects just on this side and being able to impact the next generation of girls and then still be involved in the game that shaped me so much. It's just exciting.
What was that experience like for you as a player getting to play collegiate softball?
One more time.
What was that experience like for you as a player getting to play collegiate softball?
Um, it was awesome. Um, I have loved softball for so long, and I just feel that it was a dream of mine to go and play college softball. And getting that opportunity from different schools and being able to represent different schools at different levels was just a lot of fun. So I actually got to do NAIA and then I played JUCO and I graduated from my JUCO and I ended up at Miles College, the D2. And it just, the whole experience wrapped up into one was just the best time.
How was that experience like putting on that jersey and representing both schools during your time?
Um, Putting on the jersey was definitely an exhilarating experience. Something that you can't really describe because it's a lot of hard work. Um, a lot of hard work, a lot of unnoticed little details that go into being able to just put on that jersey and being able to represent that school and play the sport that you love. It just is it's an experience that is very, very, very exhausting, but also very rewarding at the same time.
During your experience, what was that experience like getting to play, and what were some of your accomplishments during both times?
So getting to play, it shaped me into kind of the person that I am today a lot. I was able to learn a lot about myself as a person on and off the field. And then I owe it all to my coaches because they were just fantastic. They were wonderful. Um, and then the collegiate playing accomplishments. So I was a catcher and I was a really big hitter. So my freshman year, she just kind of threw me into the game, one random game, and I ended up my very first at bat was a college home run. And so I ended up hitting a home run my very first at bat, and then she just kind of kept me in there. So I know at Sneed State, I still hold one of the home run records at the school. I was blessed to play under Coach Tracy Grinnerod, that was his first year there, and now he's built a legacy there. And then at Miles College, I was able to swing a bat really, really well, and then also just experience the game under Coach Pizant, who just knows the game so well and has so many connections. Um, but one of the experiences I guess I remember the most is just hitting home runs and those game-winning walk-offs, and then being able to be freshman All-American, academic all-conference, all that good stuff. It just all adds up, but you really remember who helped you the most more than all those accomplishments put together.
How does that feel to still hold that record at your JUCO college?
Um, it's exciting. I stay in touch with my coach back there and I just keep telling him like, hey, somebody's gotta get it. Like you gotta find somebody to break that. Um, I love being the milestone for some of the girls, but I want them to be better than me. So I'm always all about finding someone who can do it and getting them the help that they need to break that next barrier.
What was that experience like for you getting into coaching and first starting off on the travel ball side?
Um, Travel ball was a different experience. I would say it was a shout out to all the travel ball coaches out there because it is demanding and it is hectic and it is insane. But I was lucky enough to be able to start a travel ball team with a group of girls at 12, and I was able to develop them until they graduated high school. So I stayed with the same group of girls. Granted, we lost a few and we gained a few on the journey, but I was blessed enough to be able to kind of watch those girls grow up and help develop them in the game and get them into the next level if that's where they wanted to be. And it's a lot, but you make a lot of really good connections. You meet a lot of really good people. So the travel ball world definitely opened the door and my eyes to how big the college world is.
Getting into the college coaching, what was it like going back to your alma mater of Miller's and becoming assistant coach there?
Going back and coaching at Miles after playing, when I first went back, I was a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie, because when I played, we played at a local high school. We didn't have a locker room. And so when I went back, like they had a locker room in their own field. And I was like, girl, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know how blessed you are. But it was it was awesome. I absolutely love my alma mater, Miles College through and through. Um, but it was really a lot of fun because being able to go back and see the differences that the program has made and the support that administration has given the softball program and seeing how far it's come since I've left and being able to come back and continuing to build onto that legacy was just it was a great experience.
What was that experience like for you leaving your alma mater of Miles to go to Talladega?
I was I was torn about my decision. It was really hard. It was a really tough decision, but at the time, I was looking for something. I wanted to do softball full time. I wanted to coach softball full time. And so when I was at Miles, it was only a part-time position. So when Talladega contacted me with a full-time position, I took it and kind of went full into the softball coaching world instead of having one foot in, one foot out. Um, and I mean, it was sad to leave. But knowing that I still have the support from Coach Piznat, who is still the coach there. And then those girls still contacted me and letting me know, like, hey, coach, I'm doing great. I did this today. And it's really nice to be able to hear from them and stay in contact with them too.
While at Talladega, what were some of your biggest accomplishments as an assistant coach?
Um, Building the confidence of those girls in that program. So Talladega has been through many coaches in the past 6 years. And so I was able to come in and kind of help provide that stability that those girls were looking for. A lot of the girls on that team had only 3 years of playing and had four coaches. So being that coach to provide a little bit of stability for them. And then also when we were there last year, we were able to go to conference for the first time since 2000, I think 17 or 18. Um, and so getting that confidence in that program and those girls and building it back up to where it should be was just probably one of the best accomplishments that I had there.
For you, what was that transition like going from coaching college softball to coaching on the club side and coming to Wiley?
So that was a little difficult. When this was presented to me, Wiley will eventually be going into the same conference as Talladega. And so I was told it was going to be, it's 1 year of club softball, and then you kind of go into the same conference that I just came from. So you can schedule whoever, you can play whoever you want during season. So I I'm not from this area of Texas, and so I was reaching out to everybody. So this season we are playing JUCOs, D1s, D3s, D2s, NAIs, like we're playing everybody and in between who will play us. Um, but it was definitely different because in club there are a lot less rules than there are in college softball. So having to make that adjustment and be a little more flexible is definitely something that I'm learning here.
What was that feeling like in that moment, like when you stepped onto that softball field at Wiley?
Um, Stepping onto the softball field, it was it was kind of rewarding. Um, Coming from assistant coaching positions and then being able to be the associate head coach where I make the majority of the decisions. It is a lot of pressure initially, but once I kind of got my feet underneath me, I was able to just figure out the culture and the plan that I wanted to invoke in this program, and then also how I wanted these girls to move and what I wanted them to do and where I wanted them to go from here. It was a lot of fun. The very first time was a lot of fun.
What does a typical game day look like for you as a coach versus for your players?
So me as a coach, I'm the only coach here with softball right now. I don't have an assistant. So the game days are kind of hectic for me. We've got bat testing. I've got to make sure the book and the lineups are done. I've got to wrap. I have to tape. I have to make sure pitchers are warming up. I got to pitch bullpen. So I'm kind of running everywhere at the moment. But my girls, they do a lot. They have a lot of responsibility on their own, and they handle it very well. So they lead stretches on their own. I don't have to kind of hover over them to make sure that they're doing it correctly. They're doing a great job, kind of honing into the expectations that I have of them, and they do a really great job being able to get prepared for game day and get everything going while I'm over there running around, making sure all the little details are done.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
So with us being club, we're not in a conference this year, but we are playing. So we've played Grambling, we'll play Nelson, Texas A&M, Texarkana, um, and then we'll turn around. We play Bossier Parish. So we play a little bit of everybody. Jarvis Christian was nice enough to play us this year. But next season, starting in the fall, we will go into the HBCU AC, which is kind of Dillard, Rust, Talladega, Oakwood, Stillman, Voorhees. So a lot of the schools on the East Coast, we play them, but Houston Tillotson is joining us next season so we'll be added with Houston Tillotson. So we'll have one Texas school in there with us.
What is that going to be like getting to play teams like Russ and Talladega?
Playing Talladega will be a little bittersweet. Just because I coached there and I recruited a lot of the girls that are playing there right now. But coming from that conference, I feel like I'm a little more prepared of what to expect. There are some very good competitive teams in that conference. And so being able to know who I have to beat and how I have to beat them, and then how I have to recruit in order to win these games it helps a lot coming from that conference.
What is that home game atmosphere like when teams come to your home facility?
So we've only actually played one home game. That was 2 weeks ago. The rain has gotten the best of us, but the one home game that we did get to play, we it was just it was a lot of fun having the support of the community and the school and other coaches and other teams and friends and family, just showing up and kind of bringing that energy that we felt at everybody else's home. And so when they brought it to and us being able to experience that, and then the girls kind of building that motivation off of it, it was a lot of fun.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes? And as a coach, what do you look at in them?
So the recruitment process, it just it can vary. So my recruitment process, I I reach out to a lot of JUCOs in the area. I also have a lot of high school players reaching out to me. Um, just communication, um, making sure that they're, when they do communicate, like send me your name, what year you graduate, all the information that I need. So that way when I come and see you play, I know who I'm looking for and I know what I'm looking for, and not necessarily like, so if you tell me you play shortstop, but then you didn't tell me in school ball you catch, I'm looking at the shortstop, I'm not looking at the catcher. So just knowing all of those aspects before I get there. But the recruitment process, I've been lucky enough to make a lot of good friends in the JUCO world who have opened up a huge portal into the high school world here for me. So I feel like I have kind of have a leg up just because of some of the really good people that I've met since I've been here. They've kind of just reached out to me and kind of let me know like this is where you need to go, this is who you need to watch. And then I have 6 kids that are graduating next year I want you to look at. So it's the recruiting process has been super easy. I really love recruiting. I love meeting new people and getting that experience, that one-on-one connection with the student athlete as well. So the recruitment process is just be yourself, reach out, talk to the coach, make sure you do your research on the school, because if we don't have your major, then please don't waste your time, because this is all about getting your degree first and then coming to play softball second. Do your research. Know where you're going and know what you're doing, because not all of us have the all winning mentality. We want you guys to be scholarly athletes. We want you to be good people, and then of course we want to win. So make sure that you know who you're playing for and where you want to go and what you want to major in, pretty much.
As a coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen putting on that Wiley jersey for the first time versus your seniors putting it on for the last time?
Um, so the best part about being club is you don't lose a year of eligibility. So my seniors who are here, they actually get to come back and compete again next year. So this is kind of like a practice year for them. But watching I always love to watch a freshman put on their jersey for the first time and take the field, just because it's a very special moment and you can see the anticipation building up and you see the nervousness and you see that they're officially feeling like they're a part of the team, but they're also just younger than the team, so they're a little less inexperienced, but all that hard work and all the dedication and everything that they've been building up to this moment, they finally get to prove it. And so it's just really exciting. It's a great moment. But I know seeing seniors put on a jersey, it's emotional. Them realizing that it's a bittersweet moment. It's coming to an end. The nostalgia, they kind of reflect on everything that they've been through and all the memories that they've created, and it can be bittersweet and very emotional. So being that shoulder to cry on while they kind of experience all those feelings that they have before that first game, and then as they're walking onto the field, their last game, or their last first game, and it's a great time.
How is that like getting to see them go through and achieve those first milestones like first hits, first pitch, first catches as a catcher?
You said, how does it feel?
Mhm. How does it feel to
So
see those first moments?
when they have those first moments, I want them to experience that first moment. I want them to feel everything that they're feeling. So if they want me to be their biggest hype man, I will be their biggest hype man. Especially if it's something that we specifically have been working on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, like a specific pitch or hitting the ball to the right side. When they finally reach that amount of success and they finally get that moment, I want them to feel it and I want them to embrace it and I want them to sit in it, because this game is very humbling. So the next moment they could turn around and do the complete opposite of what they've been training to do or what they're supposed to do, and then they want to fall into that, and I don't want them to fall the into the humbling experience or the failure. I want them to get heightened by the good stuff that happens. And it might not happen every single game or every single time, but we experiencing those moments and remembering those moments, it makes the hard times easier.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
Ooh, the future plans. I hope to expand my recruiting efforts. We have a lot of Texas residents and athletes coming in. I would like to expand out just a little bit more and get some athletes from different states as well as different countries, possibly. I would love to do more community outreach. With this being Wiley's first year back in over 20 years, not a lot of people know that Wiley has softball again. So I want to be able to get out into the community and give back and do a lot of camps and recruiting and have the players out there and all out in the community so that way we get more kind of the attention that Wiley hasn't gotten in softball in so many years. I also want to focus on the mental health aspect of the game. Being a student athlete is not the easiest thing in the world, and as a coach and as a former player, it can be a daunting task. And so I don't want them to kind of get lost in the circle of mental health and deteriorating in all of it and becoming overwhelmed. I want them to be successful on and off the field. And then just building a program that's worth talking about is just always an ultimate goal. Having people know who you are whenever you walk in and being able to compete at that high level, no matter who we're playing. It's always an ultimate goal.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college softball?
Ooh, incoming freshmen. My favorite quote ever is progress over perfection. Um, so many athletes that are being recruited these days just want to be perfect at everything that they do. And instead, I want them to focus on the progress that they're making. Because if you're just striving for perfection all the time, you're going to get burnt out. You're just not going to love the game anymore. Um, So progress over perfection, having a high IQ of the game, knowing where to be and where to go and who needs to be where, and this situation and that situation is so important. Um, Being coachable and having a strong work ethic. I always tell all my girls there are three things in life that I can't teach you. It's attitude, effort, and body language. I can't fix your attitude. I can't make you put in effort, and your body language is a reflection of how you're feeling. So those are the three things that you can control. And so those are the three major things that I look for in recruiting, as well as my players on my team, on any current team that I have. And then just having a passion for the game. Um, Lately, it feels like I've been running into during the recruitment process or even talking to other coaches, it's almost like some athletes are just going through the motion. They do what they're supposed to do. They kind of they're just here, and I really want that passion, that dog that you can just watch them play and you can see their love seeping out for the game. And like those are the things that I really look for, and I know that a lot of coaches look for when recruiting. So coming in your freshman year, keep that passion, keep a mindset that you're not going to be perfect, and just kind of keep building towards your ultimate goals, which can't be perfection. And then just being well balanced on and off the field.
What advice would you give those seniors that have aspirations of playing professional softball and getting into college coaching?
Um, do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Know who you're contacting. Um, Keep working. Keep your body healthy, whatever that means to you, eating right, running, lifting, staying healthy, and then just competing at a high level, knowing that mentally you have to go in and compete at a different level. Um, and then getting that exposure that you need. And I'm always happy to get the exposure out that I can. But then you got to network with current players or former players who have also done it, and just focus on your skill development and hone in on your skills.
What advice would you give those future coaches looking at starting coaching in college softball?
Um, start coaching at lower levels, travel ball, high school, youth league, and build the coaching skills. I know I've changed a lot as a coach from when I coached travel ball to how I'm coaching now. My coaching style's changed a lot. Um, and then networking, network. The more people you know, the better you're going to be, the better off you're going to be. And then remain coachable as a coach. There are a lot of things that a lot of people do better than me, and I want to be just as good as they are. So remaining coachable and remaining humble in that and being able to sit in when you're wrong and that it's not always your way or the highway, and being able to just kind of bounce off ideas and network within that community is super important. And just stay involved, be persistent, don't give up. When you feel like you're at a crossroad, always do the scariest job that you don't feel qualified for, because honestly, if you weren't qualified for, the opportunity wouldn't be there. Just different things, but just be persistent.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the program at?
So we are actually on Instagram. It's Wiley Softball. And I know we're on Twitter, and it's Wiley Softball again, Wiley University Softball. But if they're trying to contact me, you're gonna have to look on the website and just get my email address, because I am not on social media. But if you message on Instagram or Twitter, the Wiley Softball, I'll be able to get it as well. So if you're sending your profile information stuff there, I'll be able to see it there too.
Thank you again, Coach Cap, for your interview, and best luck in your future at Wiley as the Associate Head Club Softball Coach.
Perfect. Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach, for your interview, and best luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.